Recording. Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Tonight, our guest is Vasundhara Raghavan. She is a kidney donor, a global kidney advocate, author, founder of the Kidney Warriors Foundation. She is a former Secretary General of the Media Research Users Council as of 2005. Vasundhara has dedicated her life to help make a difference in the lives of those suffering from chronic kidney disease. She's been helping others with CKD worldwide for over 20 years. Her journey with kidney disease begins with her 10-year-old son, Aditya, who was suffering from bedwetting. She consulted with the urologist who told her that to wait until he becomes 15 because things will settle down in puberty. She trusted him. No second opinion was sought. Later, as a result of a serious headache, the family took Aditya to his PCP. The family discovered that his blood pressure was high, and after blood tests were ordered and taken, it was discovered that his creatinine was 4.58, which is very, very high. By 1996, when Aditya was 15, he was diagnosed with end-stage renal disease and subsequently placed on dialysis. Vasundhara began to seek a kidney transplant for her son and intended to donate a kidney to him, but unfortunately she tested positive for breast cancer. From 1997 to 1998, she underwent surgery and a biopsy was done. In order to find that she did have malignant breast cancer, she underwent 6 cycles of chemotherapy, followed by radiation therapy that went very smoothly. So 3 years later, she was able to donate her kidney. There are other challenges along the way, including periods of learning, developing a survival strategy, and humongous medical bills. Aditya was able to complete his undergraduate study, then master's at IIT Pauali, and left for his doctorate in physics at the University of Southern California in Los Angeles, the United States. However, 6 years later, he suffered kidney rejection and was put on peritoneal dialysis. He adapted very well to PD and was on PD for a period of 4 years. Fortunately, his brother Dhananjay was able to donate to him for his second kidney transplant. As a result of these experiences with kidney disease, Vasundhara has dedicated her life to helping kidney patients. She chronicled her experiences with CKD at a close proximity in her book, Shades of Life, Sublime Joy in Living. Let me show you that book. There it is. And later, she wrote 2 other books, The Kidney Warriors, and the book we're going to talk about tonight, Who Dies, Who Lives with Kidney Disease. She has become an ambassador with the American Association of Kidney Patients. She just spoke at the Global Summit earlier this month. She's been an ambassador since February of 2020. Please give a warm welcome to this international star kidney advocate, Vasundhara Raghavan. Vasundhara, how are you tonight?
I'm good, Jim. As good can be, as good as I can be. And it's nice
It
talking to
makes it
you. I hope
nice
one day we
talking to
come,
you.
yeah, one day I hope we come face to face.
I hope we do. I hope I get a chance to meet you face to face. I'm going to give you a big hug. You're one of my idols and my heroes.
You too.
Heroine.
You two are mine. We, we've been friends for so long.
Long time. Yes, ma'am. Did I state everything correctly in the introduction? Did I pronounce everybody's name semi correctly?
Yeah, everything was perfect.
Okay. Please tell us about your children.
So, my eldest son now is in Portland working for Intel. And Aditya, who's the one with the kidney problem, he is done his PhD in physics, and now he's moved away from the academics to pursue his interest in the food industry. He's a chef, a traveling chef, and he is also a consultant for artisan cheese making in India. So he helps people to make cheese. So
Great.
these are his most passionate, hobbies, which have become his profession now.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about where you grew up, your education, and your employment experiences.
So I was born and brought up in Mumbai, that was Bombay earlier, and I'm the fifth child in a family of six. My father was an industrialist, and I did my graduation in commerce and pursued. I was working. I was doing my chartered accountancy course when I got married, and I had to give up my education. But I was very keen in working and being a professional. So I was employed as a finance manager in a company. And after a few years, I joined a company called Media Research Users Council in the administration function, and I rose to become the Secretary General. But I was very good with the research also, because I was coordinating the research with the agency. And though I didn't have the statistical knowledge, I was very good with the methodology, the design of a research, and things that way.
Okay. One of the things that you've done is you've written three books. I want to ask you about the book about your experiences with Ada called Shades of Life, Sublime Joy in Living. Can you please tell us a little bit about that book?
So when my son was finally had a transplant, I had some time to myself. I felt I need to sit and reflect on what went wrong in my parenting. And I discovered that bedwetting was one early indication which I had lost sight of. Because when my nephrologist spoke, he said, "Yeah, it could have been, you could have come in earlier, and we could have tried to do a small surgery, reimplantation surgery, and maybe the kidney would have saved." So I started researching on it, and I realized that bedwetting is a very, very rare incident that leads to a kidney failure. And my son was one of the rare people who got into the kidney failure, and maybe he would have also escaped it. But well, that was destiny. So I decided to write about it. When I was writing the book, I was very traumatized. I said, "How can I write about the bedwetting?" So Aditya, he called me one day, said that if you're writing a book, please mention the bedwetting incident. Otherwise, don't write about it. So without any second thought, I wrote about it. And I was not happy with just writing a book. I felt that that book was not selling because nobody was interested in a book on kidney disease. And the title did not reflect that. But the title suited me because I felt that was the life, shades of life, how life changes overnight with the kidney disease. Nobody knows except people who are experiencing it. So I then moved on to open the group, the Kidney Warriors on Facebook, and life has moved on further, one book after the other.
Okay. I just want to point out that the link on Amazon to all of her books is streaming across the screen as we speak. And when this broadcast is actually published on the 25th of August, if you go to the broadcast on my personal Facebook page, in the comments, and that broadcast will be pinned to the top, so you won't have to look for it. In the comments, all the links about the research I've done on her will be in the comments, including where you can get these books. Okay, including the book that we're going to talk about tonight. Now, I know you've written two more books. Just so the audience can see, this is the Kidney Warriors book. This is the second book. This is my personal copy. Just so you know, I have read all these books. Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about the Kidney Warriors book?
So when I started my Facebook group, the Kidney Warriors, I didn't know what I was doing. I was only trying to support people, trying to respond to them, guide them. Because in India, the patients are coming from different parts of the country, and they speak different languages. So we had to have this. The group was it was very difficult to manage the group. But gradually, I realized there were a lot of personal stories. And when I saw the personal stories, I said, yes, this is what I should do, publish their stories. So the country gets awakened to this type of a disease. And this is the type of life that these people lead. Because it is important to create an awareness for kidney disease. Chronic kidney disease, as you know very well, Jim, is not really understood by many people. And people think that it's only dialysis and a transplant, but there is so many things going in between that we need to specify and talk about it at some point for the normal human beings to understand and accept and show more empathy to kidney patients.
Okay. The other book that you've written is the focus of our conversation today. Just so people can see, I think I can get it in there. Who Lives, Who Dies with Kidney Disease. This is, again, it's my personal copy. Um, Talk to us a little bit about that. How did you come up with the idea for this book? What did you hope to achieve?
So when I signed up my first book in 2010, when it was publishing, I had Dr. Mohammad Akmal, who is my son, Aditya's doctor at USC, Davita. And I had told him that I want to publish this book. He said, I'll co-author the book. And then I said, okay, you can co-author this book. And the next book I'll do with you as an author. So we worked on this. So he gave me some of his as a doctor they can't give you the case studies, so he wrote stories and gave it to me, and I expanded it to make it like with a narrative so that it becomes interesting for people who are reading it. And he had very few stories, but from 2010 I was working on the Who Lives, Who Dies, and then the Kidney Warriors came in the middle. And then finally, I had to complete my commitment with my doctor friend. So I finished Who Lives, Who Dies. After I met people on Facebook, like you, Jim, then other patients on the Facebook, like Mark Rosen. We'll talk about the others shortly. So then I could get all the stories together and publish this book.
Okay. In the book, you discuss the challenges that individuals face in getting an early diagnosis and getting early treatment for chronic kidney disease. Can you please explain why this is so important?
Even today, I think many people don't realize that they are sitting on a bomb, or it's a time bomb or an atom bomb. It can be anything that can destroy their life. When they have high blood pressure and diabetes, many of them think, okay, diet, okay, exercise, and they are always ready to say that I'm doing it all and I know it all, but they really don't know anything, because finally when they end up with chronic kidney disease, they have to suffer a lot. The awareness which we have to create about the disease is about the normal causes like hypertension and diabetes. So if we could save those people who are going to be in that range, that could be a huge number of people whose lives can be changed. Because there are many diseases like polycystic kidney disease that you have, and then there is the lupus. These are not really because of diabetes and hypertension, but there are the rare kinds of diseases which we don't have enough knowledge or information to save those people very early, We can only guide them on treatments and diet, maybe. But awareness for the disease itself is very important. In my book, I have talked about my first experience in 1962. I was 10 year old, and I had this friend who died of kidney disease, and her siblings, I think 4 or 5 siblings, all of them died. Each one, first the brother died, then every subsequent years, one sibling after the other, and finally my friend died. And then those days we did not know what is chronic kidney disease. People talked about it in whispers, kidney disease, but nobody talked about what it meant. And even today, that fear is so high that people are not willing to accept the disease and take the treatment. So, creating awareness is very important about the early detection, about getting the right treatment, not being diverted, and to also follow your proper diet and ensure that your medication is, you are following the medication, going back and changing your prescription as and when it is required. So being very compliant with your disease and whatever it is required to do is very important for the chronic kidney disease.
Okay. The book not only shares personal kidney story, but it includes sections dealing with medical facts and emotional support. Can you tell us a little bit about that in your book?
Some of the medical part is very important because people who are reading the book, who are reading these stories can be very interesting, and one can read the stories, but one doesn't want to know about the disease. But once you have those chapters also in the book, they may be interested in knowing, okay, if I were to face this, what is kidney disease? What should I look for? Why is kidney disease so important? So those books were brought written by the Dr. Akmal. He wrote those chapters so that it could have some. The importance is not only the story, the human aspect, but it is also about the medical aspect. The human aspect is what I have brought in, so that I think that more people have to know that these are the problems. This is the journey of a patient going through kidney disease. There are a lot of situations to handle. The emotion is very, very huge, but seldom spoken about. And we need more people to talk about the emotional part so that it becomes a uh, changing. The whole disease has a new face. There's an uplift. People understand the disease, and they understand that why they have to consider these patients as important segment who need attention by the policymakers and also need attention by the family. Nobody should ignore kidney patients.
Okay. And I just want to let people know the book is available on Amazon. The link to find the book is streaming across the page as we speak. Again, when we publish the broadcast on the 25th of August, I will pin the broadcast to the top of my personal Facebook page. This link will be in there. In the meantime, if you type in her name, all three of the books will come up in Amazon, and you can order them on Kindle. You can order paperback copies. And this book in particular is the book we want to emphasize tonight. This is a great book, my friends. You don't want to miss out. If you haven't read it, then please grab a copy and read it. Let us know what you think. Okay? Um, are there any other comments that you would like to make about the book?
So I want to talk about the important aspects of the book, which actually cuts across the whole book. I talked to you about the 1962 event in my life, but I was doing research and I found a story of a girl who was 6 year old, and this is in 1936, and she found some spots of blood in her urine and complained to her mother. So the mother found out that it is Bright syndrome, no, Berger's disease, and she put her on a diet, and she took very good care of the girl, the little girl. So from 1936 to 1986, that lady had taken care of her health, and then in 1986 she started dialysis. So we have something like a time span stories in this book. Then we have the story of Magda from Italy, who has also managed IgA for 30 years. Like during the war, the Second World War, she was mother found her having some issues, and she sort of managed to, she was coughing a lot. So the mother put her on some sort of a diet, and she maintained the IgA for 30 years. And then she got a transplant. And we have Mark Rosen, who also has managed to maintain his creatinine. So these are very important uh, things to inspire people. Okay, I can have kidney disease, but I can manage if I only make my little attempt to do that. In the case of polycystic kidneys, like your case, where your family went through it, many people, members of your family had the disease, and then you also ensure that your son got his checkups done. So these are the things that are very, very vital for people to understand that yes, this is the disease, and these are the aspects of the disease. Some of them are genetic also, and some of them go through years of generations of the disease. And particularly, I want to talk to you about Sally Settle, who had actually gone to the Congress, and she voiced her feelings on how the laws for the transplant has to be improved, where donors should have benefits, financial benefits like tax compensations. So these aspects about how people with kidney disease have also taken up huge challenges to bring change. So these are all part of this book. And I think we have to look at the book from the human angle, the progressive measures of treatment available when you look at 1936 to 86, one lady's managing the disease for so long. These are the aspects that give us the power to face the disease and to take up all the challenges that come with it.
Okay. Are you in the process of writing any new books? Anything we can talk about in that area?
Well, you see, being associated with the American Association of Kidney Patients, I've become, I've been so inspired that I have to bring a lot of change for kidney patients in India, because we do not have an insurance policy for predeceased people. So all of them are struggling, and people, as you know, kidney disease is now coming in the younger generation. Like they are all 20s, in their 20s and 30s, and they start their lives with kidney disease without an insurance policy. There is very little hope. So I'm bringing out the Kidney Warriors Part 2 of the book, which is going to address all the concerns and how the government will have to take up all these issues. Government, the nephrologists, the other stakeholders should take up these issues to see that they can bring some soft measures to improve their lives of kidney disease. Hard decisions may be difficult, but anything that can improve the lives is a welcome change.
Okay. Do you have any final statements that you would like to make for our audience before we conclude the broadcast recording this evening?
I think only thing I have to tell anyone who's listening to this session is that not to worry about kidney disease too much. If you have it, take care, handle it with courage, and you will also survive. That's why my book is titled Who Lives, Who Dies. The person who decides to live will definitely live if they take all the all the cautions that are been given by the doctor, and person who just gives up hope. It's see the patient survive. So it's always good to be inspired to live, and to live with all the challenges, because life is give this is also another very great journey of life of a human being. And we will also be creating some history. The people will know that people with kidney disease have been challenging things, and they've really made it, they've really taken all the effort to live a decent life. So it's very important to be accepting the disease and living with all the challenges.
Okay. I want to remind people again, this is the book, Who Lives or Who Dies with Kidney Disease. You can find it on Amazon.com. And if you haven't read it, if you haven't purchased it, please do so, because it's an awesome book. Just a lot of great information, a lot of great kidney stories in there. Your Uncle Jim's in there, so it can't be bad. All right, so I want to thank you for coming on and speaking with us tonight and raising awareness and educating us. Um, I hope you have a great trip while you're here in the United States, spending time with family. And I just want to thank you. I know you're a busy lady. I just want to thank you again. I try to keep up with your itinerary, but it seems to me you get on and off a lot more airplanes than I do. So I just want to say thank you. And Vasundhara, you're free to go. I just have to do a little closing up, and then we'll be finished. Okay. So thank you again. Great broadcast, great information. I appreciate so much you taking time to speak with us.
Thank you, Jim, for doing this for us, for all the kidney patients. Thank you so much. Namaste to you from India.
Thank you, my friend. You have a good evening from Hammond,
You too.
Indiana. All
Thank
right.
you. Bye bye.
So that concludes our. Oh, no worries. No worries. Bye bye.
Yeah.
Thank you. That concludes our broadcast for this evening. I look forward to seeing your responses on the 25th. So you have a good evening, everyone.